folks. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Greg Robinson. Today I would like to talk with you about some of the fiduciary duties of trustees. Many books have been written regarding the fiduciary duties of trustees. There are law school classes that focus solely on fiduciary duties of trustees. Today, however, I want to discuss with you 5 simple duties of trustees once a trust has been validly established. The first duty imposed upon trustees is the duty of loyalty. The Missouri statute states in part, a trustee shall administer the trust solely in the interests of the beneficiaries. I chose the duty of loyalty as the first duty to discuss today because it is such a well-known and probably the most fundamental duty of the trustee. The trustee has a duty of loyalty to the beneficiaries of the trust regarding the trust property. A trustee cannot place his or her personal interests above those of the beneficiaries. The trustee cannot allow his personal interests to compete with those of the beneficiaries of the trust. The trustee who has an adverse interest and has breached his duty to the beneficiaries typically will have to resign. Some states, like Missouri, have a savings statute that would allow the trustee not to be liable for a breach of a fiduciary duty if the breach were disclosed to the beneficiaries consent to the conduct constituting the breach, the beneficiaries release the trustee from the liability for the breach, and/or ratify the transaction which constituted the breach. The second duty imposed upon trustees is the duty to be prudent. Missouri's statutes state that a trustee shall administer the trust as a prudent person would by considering the purposes, terms, distribution requirements, and other circumstances of the trust. In satisfying this standard, the trustee shall exercise reasonable care, skill, and caution. A trustee's action or inaction will not be judged in hindsight, but, as stated above, by considering the purposes, terms, distribution requirements, and other circumstances of the trust. The third duty that is imposed upon a trustee after a trust has been validly created is the duty to act and carry out or administer the terms of the trust. Missouri's statute states in part, upon acceptance of a trusteeship, the trustee shall administer the trust in good faith, in accordance with its terms and purposes and the interests of the beneficiaries. Trustees do not have a duty to accept a trusteeship. The trustee named in the trust document can decline to serve. If, however, the trustee accepts the trusteeship, the trustee has a duty to administer the trust diligently. The trustee must read the governing document and carry out the intentions of the settlor as expressed in the trust document. The fourth duty imposed upon trustees of a validly created trust is the duty to give personal attention to the trust. The trustee's relationship with the beneficiaries is a personal one. The entire administration of the trust cannot be delegated. Missouri does allow, however, a trustee to delegate to an agent duties and powers that a prudent trustee of comparable skills could delegate under the circumstances. The ability to delegate to an agent is derived from the Uniform Prudent Investor Act. The last duty of a trustee that I wanted to discuss with you today is the duty to account to the beneficiaries. The trustee has a duty to keep records of the administration of the trust. Additionally, the trust property must be kept separate and distinct from the trustee's own personal property. An interesting and controversial duty imposed upon trustees in Missouri is the duty to inform and report to the beneficiaries at least annually and provide a report of the trust property, liabilities, receipts, disbursements, including the source and amount of the trustee's compensation, a listing of the trust assets and their respective market values. The concept of providing all available information to the beneficiaries is to allow the beneficiaries to protect their interests. If you have questions about the duties of a trustee, or if you are currently serving as a trustee, please feel free to contact our office.